Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Prancing Pony Podcast Plays. Hope y'all are having a wonderful week so far. It's good to see you, and in many cases, it is good to see you again. I hope many of you were here Saturday for the 10th anniversary streaming special. That was a lot of fun. Didn't get a lot of gameplay in, I have to say, thanks to the incredible video put together by Katie. So kudos to you again, Katie, and thank you for all your work on that. So welcome, everyone. Let's see. Just let me take a look real quick in chat and see what's going on. I'm seeing lots of hellos, and that's great. I just want to make sure. Okay, good. It does look like I'm being heard. Thank you, Katie, for confirming. So any cool news, any cool Tolkien information that you're excuse me, that you're discovering across various forms of media over the last few days? Anything going on in the Tolkien world? I mean, how do you think that I would know these things, right? I mean, I know some things. What's that line? I drink and I know things. I drink water and I know a few things. It's not a lot, but yeah, reading day is coming along. In fact, I actually just recorded the reading that I'm doing for Jordan's Tolkien Reading Day soundscape stream. That's going to come out. It's going to be a lot of fun. Doing a collab. Excuse me. I'm sorry. I came online about 20 seconds before I should have. A collab. A collab. You know, I don't know how to pronounce that because, of course, it's not a real word. The real word is collaboration. So who are you collaborating with, Katie? Oh, a new venue. That's always a good problem to have. When you're outgrowing your current place, you need to find a new place to meet. Tom's book is now available. I finally have mine on order. Dan, do you know, are you willing to share with us what you're going to be doing your Tolkien Reading Day passage on? And Katie, that's okay. If you can't say it, you can't say. There's lots of different collaborations going on, and I'm glad to see it. I've always felt like Tolkien Reading Day and Hobbit Day are sort of the two anchors for the community to get together and do all sorts of cool stuff. So, and I like that. I like that it's all about the fandom as a whole getting together, right? It's not just one corner, but it's all of it. A little funny to be talking about something not being a real word on a Tolkien stream. That's fair. That's fair. But it would be like if we reported that Hurin once said "aureentu." It's not a thing. Aurreentuluva. Listening to a Brandon Sanderson podcast, and he started complaining about the Normans. I'm in good company. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you, Erica. Appreciate that as always. Yeah, that's good. I was actually reading something about Sanderson recently today as well. The apparently there's a video where he talks about Mistborn, but he also talks about an upcoming Tolkien lecture. And I got to find out about this. Apparently, the event is May 19th. And I don't know if you can get tickets like to see it online or not. I'll find out about that and get you information. But Sanderson doing a Tolkien lecture would be really interesting. Unlikely heroes. So I'm taking a look at ways in which a certain hero subverts the hero expectations. Ah, I like that. So not so much an unlikely hero, but somebody doing unlikely things, making them a hero. Okay, that'll be very interesting. I'll be very curious to see what's going on there. Today is Verlin Flieger's birthday. Thank you for that reminder. Happy birthday, Verlin Flieger, one of the absolute giants in Tolkien scholarship, right up there, right next to Tom Shippey, and also one of the nicest people you'll ever meet. If you have not heard the PPP's interview with her, please do. I want to say that was the very beginning of season 4 or season 3. Season 3, I think. No, season 3 was Shippey, and season 4, I think. Yes, was the end of season 4, so episode 178. But both of those are fantastic. So listen to Tom Shippey, which was episode 91, and then listen to 178 to hear us talk to Verlin Flieger. Fantastic conversations. So many good things. I am really looking forward to the Tolkien Reading Day episode coming out for this year's PPP episode on it. I've recorded all of the segments, right? So we've recorded segments from Dawn and from Matt and from Sarah and from James and from Sean and from myself. And it is going to be a long one. Probably, I'll just apologize now. It's probably going to be 2 hours and 15 minutes, 2 hours and 20 minutes. I don't know. Every one of us went a little bit long, and that's okay. I am excited. I cannot share who anybody's heroes are. I will say they are all unlikely in the sense that they're also unpredictable, right? I mean, the obvious unlikely heroes are people like Sam or Merry and Eowyn, right? They are unlikely heroes in the sense that they're not in a position to be heroes like Aragorn or Gandalf. And that's all well and good. And we could have chosen those people and would have had lots of things to read about. But I love that everybody chose sort of an under the radar hero, like heroes that you're like, ooh, that's a clever pick. But I can't tell you any of theirs. I will tell you that one of them picked a non-legendarium character as a hero, which I thought was really good, and it's an excellent read. But I can tell you who I chose. Less than half of what you'd hope for. It might be 2.5, but that's about as long as we want to go. I did mine on Baragon. I feel like there's a guy who is as unexpected hero as you get, but who had to suffer really for it and was willing to risk everything. So looking forward to that. Sing ST1 Sing Street sings T1. I'm not sure what the handle is, but hello everyone. Sorry I'm late. That's okay. Come on in. We're good to go. Dan of the Ring, since you've started the history of Galadriel and Celeborn, do you have a version you prefer? That's a really good question because, of course, Galadriel and Celeborn, especially Galadriel, how many versions of Galadriel are there? A lot. James and I went through the history of Galadriel and Celeborn over 6 episodes. And at the end, in our Mega P5 on those 6 episodes, we talked about sort of which version is our own headcanon, which one do we like the best. And I think both of us landed on the idea that that the ban was still in place. James landed on it. The test that she passed was the Valar's test. I actually liked viewing it as like her own internal test. We both agreed that the better version is her meeting Celeborn in Doriath rather than meeting him all the way in Lorien, because by that point she's meeting him, in the Second Age. That doesn't make as much sense. We like the idea of them wanting to leave Valinor, or of her wanting to leave Valinor to rule these realms, but without him. We liked the version where she meets him in Alqualande or somewhere in Amman. I can't remember where he's a Telerin prince, but it just doesn't fit with anything else. So I think that's not one I like. I toyed with the idea of really liking the idea that Amroth is their son because it would just compound their losses. And there was a version where Amroth was their son, but I don't buy it. And I like that there's a whole separate storyline involved in Lorien with previous kings and all of that. So, yeah, well, we had to get it recorded, Katie. That's for sure. I mean, Jordan has to edit that, and that's a lot of work to edit. It's episode 405, so that comes out I think right before the 25th, right? That comes out on March 22nd, so it's less than 4 weeks away. And so I haven't even listened to it yet. I don't know how long it's going to be. Niggle Hassel, that's not a bad call, and I'm just not going to say anything there because that may or may not be. Oh, James from Massachusetts. James, oh, I love it, man. It's good to see you. Which version? Yes. The elf at Rivendell that had to cook for the hobbits. Oh, the conversation she had with Gandalf about the Elessar. Yeah, I think that's the one. We like the Elessar being the original being sent back rather than a copy made by Celebrimbor. Though in fairness, it was always going to be Celebrimbor. It's pretty clear from the papers that this notion of what was his name? The guy who's said to have created the first one. I'm totally blanking. Ernil something. I can't remember his name. Um, he only appears there, and he gets replaced by Celebrimbor in the text. Enerthil, that's his name, Enerthil. Um, and it's pretty clear that that's not meant to be, and it's Celebrimbor's going to replace him. I did sort of like the idea. I think we both landed on the idea that, hey, having Celebrimbor be a survivor of Gondolin and not the grandson of Feanor is actually pretty cool. So, yeah, Gandalf for sure. I mean, the idea of him coming over. The only thing about that conversation though is it's said to take place in the eaves of Mirkwood. So, in what version of the story? There's only one version of the story where Lorien has its borders go all the way across the Anduin, and in that version, it's like that before they take over, like early. So I don't know. There's a lot of confusion about, you know, the story of Galadriel and Celeborn. If we want um, you know, a final version, we're not going to get one. Tolkien did keep elevating Galadriel, you know. First she was rebellious, and then she was less rebellious, and then she was, you know, there was no ban in place anymore. She just felt obligated to stay until Sauron was defeated. We even get a line in there about her leaving Valinor because she's learned all the Valar could teach her, which is great until you stop to realize I know everything the gods know. Is a lot of hubris. But she doesn't say it like that, of course. It's just a really wild idea that Galadriel heads over, not because she's headstrong and wants to rule, but because she's gained all the knowledge she can and now she wants to gain more. Ooh, the Tal Elmar episodes. Caught up. Congratulations, Holly Hartman. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I like the idea that she's there to basically be the anti-Feanor. I really do like that. Yeah, she does have pride, but it's not the misplaced pride of Feanor. Yeah. Being caught up, speaking of being caught up, Holly, it's like one of those things I hear from people, because I'm, of course, never caught up, right? I'm always slightly ahead, but never done. um, and from what I hear, it's a challenge because a lot of people get caught up by listening to 2 or 3 episodes a week. I've talked to people who listen to like 1 or 2 episodes a day, which is, God bless you. I don't know how you do that, but the folks who listen to it that intensely, when they get to the end and they realize they only get 1 episode a week, it can be a little rough. Joe, why would Galadriel deserve a special ban just for her? Well, it wouldn't have been a special ban just for her. She would have fallen under the ban of the Noldor because she's always been a Noldo. And the idea was that even though she didn't go with Feanor, the fact that she went, so like once the trees were drained and the Silmarils stolen, and we were in that period of darkness, it was clear they weren't supposed to go anywhere. They had already been planning in one of the versions of the story. They'd already been planning to go, and so they just left. And when they left, that put them under the ban of the Valar. They can't come back. So it wasn't so much a special ban, it was that the ban applied to her even though she wasn't one of the truly rebellious Noldor. I guess they just weren't willing to make a special exception for her. But of course, so many of the versions have, you can come back now at the end of the first age. And she chose not to. 4 to 5 a day. You can only do that if you're listening at double speed, Hassel, right? 2 to 4 a week seems like a much more reasonable pace. Yeah. That's good. I'm glad you're getting caught up on others because there are a lot of good podcasts out there. I know I've been kicking my butt over the last few weeks to keep up with my favorite F1 podcast because they've been following all the testing dates and stuff. And it's like, you catch up with that 2 weeks late and it's you can't. There's no point. Then you just have to skip it. Is that how they power starships in Middle Earth? The interaction between Feanor and anti-Feanor? The beryllium sphere is broken. Love that movie, by the way. Decided not to get caught up. Yeah, sometimes. And that's the thing. You can hop on the train, and then a lot of folks use the hiatus to go back and kind of get caught. So let's say you picked up in the middle of season 9, right? Middle of us talking about the appendices. Stick around, be live, and then during the hiatus, go back and listen. Maybe get caught up on that season first. And then later on in another hiatus, go get caught up on the old stuff. That's what I hear. They are good for road trips. I do love my road trips and listening to my podcasts too. Not my own, my playlist of podcasts. Yeah. Ooh. All right. Well, we're going to get into the game tonight. I'm super excited. I think we might actually finish up a chapter of the epic because we're getting close to, well, I don't want to spoil anything. Remember though, we played the breaking of the fellowship as Frodo a few sessions back. I think we're not done with the breaking of the fellowship and session play, I should say. So, all right, well, let's go ahead and add that extra camera here. Streamer X. Okay. It is time to, it's because I still have it that way from the other day. All right. It is time for me to say farewell to the stream on the screen. So those of you on YouTube and Twitch will still be able to talk to each other, just not to the folks on the other platform. And then I'm going to go ahead and move this screen over to my side. So when you see me looking like this, it's because I am trying desperately to read the text. Though Katie does a great job of making sure I don't miss too many of the questions in chat. So thank you for that, Katie. All right. So Hilbern, we'll hop in it I'll just catch you up real quickly. A couple sessions ago, we played through the Breaking of the Fellowship at Parthgalen as Frodo, and it was a fantastic session play opportunity where we really get to see their take on the story and that conversation or that confrontation with Boromir, as well as his time running to the top of Amon Hen and hearing the voices. It was fantastic. So now we are in sort of the East Wall region of Rohan doing a few quests. And then you'll see that the epic quest is to find the lawn of Parthgalen. So the Parthgalen is down here. We were already there briefly. Or no, we weren't there. Yeah, we were there briefly. But then we ended up back up here and we found our way down past the Argonath to Mansig's encampment. So this is near Nen Hithoil. And we've got a few quests in this region, and then we'll head down to Parthgalen. Hasselhoff, have I tried the XCOM games? Oh, yeah, I'm an XCOM. I'm not just an XCOM veteran. I'm a Moo veteran. Masters of Orion, which sort of goes back even further than XCOM. Old school stuff, for sure. All right. Just catching up and seeing if there's anything else. But let me go ahead and jump out and see what we've got quest-wise that we can take shortcuts to. We do have to go north and find this orc. We may end up just abandoning that quest because it's sort of out of our way. That's above his station. But we've got Searchers, which is defeat orc searchers in the region. And then we've got Hunger and Thirst, which is to find 3 fallen saddlebags and then find the waterfall upstream of where the orc corpses were. And then Pointless Flight, which we can actually morph. We can actually port to using Mithril. That's where the M came from. Sarah, thanks for joining us, even if you aren't able to take part in the chat. Glad you could be here. So let's go ahead and do that. We're going to port to him And that way we can finish that quest and then move our way up north to turn them all back in at Mansik's encampment. Oh. Before the entrance to a dark cave lies the body of a fallen orc. It seems to have succumbed to its wounds before reaching the dark safety of the cave mouth. Embedded in its leg, you find a red-fletched arrow, Utlak's prized arrow, which you take. All right. So now it does look, though, like there is another quest in there. Interior quest location. Well, let's see what's going on in here.
Orcs and insects. Insects and orcs.
Explore the side tunnels. I'm not interested. Have a nice time, Mr. Ron. We want to stick mostly with the epics. So we want to go ahead and grab Hunger and Thirst as the one we're going to set as our quest guide focus. And let's head over there. All right. We're going to turn on Find the Path to give us our out-of-combat run speed, and we're going to track our mines so that we can grab resources. And we do need to grab resources in this area. I have advanced off screen, by the way. I've advanced some of my crafting levels, but we're now in an area where I need new materials. Right, we've graduated to the next tier of skarn and wood. Though at some point I'm still going to need Kalinard too, because I'll show you. Prospector tier, I have become... No, I don't need Kalinard anymore, but I need Rittermark. Oh, that's where I'm at right now. So I've become proficient with the Rittermark stuff, and now I'll be working on expertise. And then eventually I'll also be working on proficiency in the Aerlingus tier. For foresters, I've begun working on the oak, the East Eminent tier. So that's really where I'm at on both, is the East Eminent tier. Just that with the prospector, I've actually already gotten proficiency. With the forester tier, I'm still looking at proficiency. So if any of you are high level and you're just flush with oak branches and Rittermark hides and Aerlingus hides and Aerlingus skarn, feel free. Hilbern's my name. Mail it on over. But that, of course, only works if you're on the Peregrine server. I should add that. Hey, I'm just going to shoot you. Do you mind? Thank you very much for standing still. So nice when they do that. Explore the side tunnels. Haha, nope, losers. Okay, bye. Yeah, pretty much. I'm not really a big fan of the interior map, so unless I have to, I'm not going to. How's that? All right, so what we're looking for are 3 saddlebags. You are so doomed. You poor people are going to have to be with me as I gather all the oak branches and Rittermark skarn for a while. Hey, at least I didn't make you sit and watch me craft in my house at the forge in my house. All right. Dun, dun, dun. I do love the music. The Rohan music is some of the best. Dun, 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 dun. Big hobbit shooting an enemy standing still. Resource gathering is why you join these streams. Saddlebag. If you were here on Saturday, you heard me say Saddleback a couple times. It's because I live near Saddleback Mountain. We'll do a crafting stream. We'll do a crafting stream at some point when I can actually do things beyond just gathering and harvesting the resources. I want to turn it into making things. So on a rare live visit. So congrats. Thank you. I loved all the tributes too. You can thank Katie for those. That was fantastic. I know, Katie, it's not the Ikorban stuff. I can now access the relics, the ancient relics and such, and they are that bothers Katie to no end when she's unfortunate enough to have to play with Halagrim. Let's see here. So if I still have to get the other saddlebag, looks like it must be over there somewhere. Is it going to be on that side of the stream? I don't want to cross the river unless I... Oh, no, it must be between the streams. All right, well. Oh, Rittermark Scarn. Ooh, heavy oak branches. So for those who are learning a little bit about the resources, when you have either a heavy set of branches or you have a rich scarn deposit, so the regular ones will give you 1 to 3 of the craftable or of the resource. The rich ones will give you 3 to 5 plus a chance at the that tier's crafting, what you might call shard. So like in Mori, it was the mithril shard. This tier, it's going to be... I keep them all in the shared folder because every crafter needs them. Yeah, then it's going to be the cracked... Oh, no. Now it's going to be the tarnished crest of Rohan. So that'll be something I could run into. All right, so right straight ahead is where the other backpack is. So maybe it's up top. How do I get up there? Maybe it's underneath the waterfall. This is the waterfall mentioned by Rat. Oh. So this is the waterfall, but I have to find the other saddlebag. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. So hunger and thirst. Huh. Thought I found him. Well, at least we know where to go. So we just need to look up in this area for another saddlebag. Peregrine is a synonym for pilgrim. So Pippin and Gandalf both have pilgrim, and that's fascinating. I did not know that about Peregrine. Now that's Peregrine with the E, as in like a peregrine falcon, but not Peregrine the name. I don't know if the two are related linguistically. I'd have to do more research than I'm currently capable of doing. But that's fascinating. Whoa, hello. Ow. Ah. Is the other saddlebag literally right here? No. Okay. Katie, could you do me a favor and see if we can get a location for the third saddlebag? Because according to this, I've gathered 2. Oh, there's a third one. Never mind. We got lucky and stumbled upon it. You have been an influence. If you want to call that good, that's up to you. All right, so now we got to go find that waterfall. Yep, ruby shards. Yep. So all those shards, those are to create... I'll see if I can show you. Well, I can't because this guy doesn't have any crafting tiers. So basically, crafters will fall into 2 categories. You have the gathering and the creation stuff. So gathering is forester and prospector. Creating is like tailor, which I've not bothered to advance on because I already have somebody who can do a lot of tailoring. But let's see if I have a recipe that'll show that. So if I want to create... No, I don't, because I don't think there's anything at that level. No. Nope. So you'll have higher level of equipment recipes. So I'll show you on one of my alts how that works the next time I create stuff. All right, so now we need to fill the waterfall or fill the water skin. And now bring that all back. But we don't want to necessarily come straight back. We need to defeat orc searchers. So we're going to turn on searchers and go get them. We need to find 4 orc searchers in the East Wall region. Dun, 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 dun. Not for Middle Earth garb. Well, that's good. You won't need to bring him an adamant shard or a mithril flake. All right, so we want to look for the searchers. There we go. We need to kill 4 of these little guys. I'm Orc Searcher. I noticed that the Orc Searchers are, I mean, look at this guy. I'm an Orc Searcher. I'm standing looking at a piece of rock. I'm searching the rock, boss. I collect craftable pieces of rock. It is true. I collect them and move on. Poor Uruk alone. All right. So now we've got quests to turn in, right? We've got Pointless Flight, Hunger and Thirst. We're going to probably skip above his station. Utlak and his cousin Aflak. Oh no, now he wants to know about the cave. Decline.
You have done well.
Thank you. Of course I have. Mansig.
I do not need to know what they were looking for to be glad they had not found it.
All right. Well, then we are going to simply cancel the above his station quest. We are done helping these folks, these fine folks here. So let's go ahead and head down. I don't want to search that cave. So we're going to go to the road here. And we are going to head down towards Parthgalen. The greatest danger in Middle-earth, the insurance sales duck. I'm laughing at the idea of the Orc Searcher standing in front of a rock and not searching for anything. Because presumably they're supposed to be searching for, I don't know, the ring or the people in the fellowship. Stand there still. Thank you very much. My cook will like the blackberries. You can make some blackberry pies. Ooh, came across a roving threat. Be careful. Unless you've got powerful friends with you. Or you're like way above level. I know, Katie. Just giving back some of what you get. All right. Find the lawn of Parthgalen. And I'm excited because I believe, oh, fine, you've tempted me with the oak branches. I'll get them. I believe that we're coming up on the point where we'll actually be into Rohan proper. Like, I actually think that's part of the epic is to then go to Rohan. And Katie, correct me if I'm wrong, isn't that when I'll get my war steed? Though I'll probably have to do a whole bunch of quests at that point. Sebastian, yes, we had a quest that took us there a session or two ago. It was fantastic. We got to do session play as Frodo on Aemon Hen, right, with his confrontation with Boromir and everything. It was great. Dun, 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 dun. Yeah, we're headed to Parthgalen. Thank you, Katie. There are a bunch of quests before it, but yeah, we'll be on the Warsteed quests. That'll be good. That'll be a lot of fun. Yeah, and Hilbern will get a promotion too. We're not too far from 81, where I'll get to reforge my legendary and probably craft a few new things. I'll have to take a look at my crafting alts to see what they can make that will be useful to him at level 81. I'm sorry you missed it. That'll actually be on. Oh, there's an elf arrow. I must start a quest. I should run away. Katie, Katie, I think that was last Tuesday's stream, wasn't it? You could confirm, and then Sebastian, you could take a look at that. Matt at Dorklords theorized M on Hen and M on Law. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, right? Because that's exactly how it works with Manwë, with Varda by his side, can hear stuff from farther away, or can see things that are farther away, and Varda can hear things because of Manwë and the winds. So find an elf in the east wall to ask about the arrow. Oh, he's all the way to the north? Okay. I could port to him, but then I have to figure out how to get to... let's do that. We're going to port to him. Turn that in. Tracking down the Gray Company. Just came across an Argonath-looking thing at the entrance. Oh, yeah, I know where you're at. Arrows of elf make.
This is most interesting.
Corodan takes the arrow and studies it carefully. This was made within the Golden Wood. I know whose arrow this is, but I will not speak his name. Did not loose this arrow for practice or to test its flight. He fired it at a foe. He hit his mark. He sought to defend his companions from orcs. That much is clear. But one thing troubles me. Why did he leave the arrow behind? It is still intact. What spurred him to leave with such haste? And that's it. Okay. So did Varda and Ivana create the system of classifying trees from a long ways away? Well played. Let's use our return to Mansig's camp, our milestone skill, and then we're going to take a horse to Parthgalen. All right. Now, we haven't been to Parthgalen yet, so we'll just have to pay a mithril to get there, but we'll take the regular horse so we can actually enjoy the journey while we're there. I just realized, though, the danger in me getting the stable ride. If I see a rich Rittermark Skarn deposit, I'm going to have a hard time not dismounting. The whole point, though, is to do this quickly, right? To get down to Parthgalen and to move forward so we can keep going with the story. See, I rode right by a Rittermark Skarn deposit. Heavy oak branches. Heavy oak branches. More Rittermark Skarn. We've had first Rittermark Skarn, yes. What about second Rittermark Skarn? You're snarky after earlier. You could have just said 2 words. I'm snarky. After earlier, as though you need the qualifier. All right, this chat. Which ruins do you want to see in Middle Earth most? She's asking chat, not me, so I'll let y'all figure that one out. You've discovered a glade full of dead orcs. What happened here? I would say a bunch of orcs died. We'll probably discover that. We'll probably come across that place later, I'm guessing. Oh, I can't answer? What ruins would I like to see most? I don't know. I don't know. Is that a rich one? Nope, just a Rittermark Skarn. I'm getting close enough that if I have to get off the thing, that I will. The Argonath really are pretty amazing. I would want to see those, I think, if I were going to get to see something in real life. The thing that I'd want to see is not the ruins. I want to see Osgiliath in its prime, when it was the capital city of the rising, wealthy Gondor. That's what I'd want to see. Ooh, look at that. The little... You could just see on the other side, the other... There's something over there. Well, it's not an Argonath. Must be the top of the other... of Amon Hla. Yeah, Osgiliath. See all the places the father of the dwarves woke in. Yeah, that'd be cool. Gondolin. Yeah, you would need one. That's true. I want to see things when they're not ruined. I don't mind ruins, but I really want to see. Yeah, Parthgalen. A discarded pack in the grass catches your eye. Well, where is this discarded pack? Hmm. Examine the discarded pack. I'm not seeing a discarded pack. Shoot, that other warrior got out of the range of my rain of arrows. Is it over here? Hmm. Is it delete? You said that I think finds those items, yeah? Hmm. Message was up here someplace. Maybe if I need to go further back. There's oak branches, which I'll get because I'm here, but oh, I won't. That guy stole my oak branches. All right. I got to figure out how to get. Okay. Maybe I need to get closer to that camp. Oh, which Katie mentions. Bingo. Congratulations. There's a squirrel. There's the discarded pack. Oh. Boromir. That was fast. Session play as Boromir. Ooh, the ruins near the Shire and Yonder Shire. It's always nice. I love Yonder Shire. I wish I'd started a Hobbit character out of the Shire, after that had come into existence. I have to go back and play it because I don't have any characters that are at that, low a level.
Something happened to our mutual friends. The signs of it are everywhere in the East Wall. But did the danger come from without their number? Or within?
Yes, I'm not going to need his inventory. Looks like he's a champion type. Quick attack. The 4-second cooldown. Mighty Strike. Does the same amount of damage. Slightly larger cooldown. A more powerful strike. That is... Okay, and then we've got group one. That's good. I'm going to drag that over here because that's for group. That's also for group. And then we've got something to break off the dazes. Okay. All right, and those are in order. 2 attacks at 1182 each. 2 attacks at 19. Let's switch those. So that's the more damaging one, which is why it has a 6-second cooldown. Oh, they both do. Okay. All right. Aragorn. I understand, Boromir, but you know the words of Gandalf. Though there be strength in Minas Tirith, it is not a strength that would avail us in the matter of Frodo's burden. If this were a contest that could be won by strength of arms, I would readily agree to go at once to your city, but I fear it is not. When Frodo returns, he will give us his decision, and we will do what we can to support him, will we not? I love how Legolas isn't even named Legolas here. He's just the elf. I believe we should go to Minas Tirith, Boromir. If it came to a vote, that would be my decision. You have told us of the enemy's desire to destroy Minas Tirith, and I think that is where we are most needed. But I will stand with Frodo, whatever his decision. The elf is a valuable companion, but his arrows are nothing compared to the power of the ring. Do I get to talk to the dwarf? Frodo's servant, That halfling and the other halfling. Wow. Boromir. All right, I'm not getting... That's just generic stuff like that we're getting just because I started a new character, basically. Find Frodo and convince him. Okay, he wanders somewhere to the northwest. All right. But Boromir would know their names. Book Boromir would. You have found Frodo, but he has not seen you yet. You are very kind, Boromir, but I have seen no danger. If there are orcs about, they must remain on the other side of the river. I've simply been walking and thinking about what I must do. But it is not an easy decision to make. I know what I must do, but I am afraid. Frodo has not yet made his decision. Perhaps he can be convinced. I know Minas Tirith is endangered, Boromir, but I cannot bring the ring there. You heard what Gandalf said at the council, and Elrond. My road lies to the east and to the fire. The ring cannot save Gondor. Its only power is the power to destroy. He is not listening. Elves and wizards have already filled his head with nonsense. Boromir, it is my burden, and I will not give it to you. You are not yourself. The ring has influenced your words. Do not let it influence your actions as well. I have nothing more to say to you. He is a fool. He will doom us all. He will give the ring to Sauron. Boromir, no! The ring cannot save Gondor. It must be destroyed. Boromir, no! Do not do this! He's doomed us all. Search the hollow log for the sneaking hobbit. Search the leaf pile. Oh, this hurts. A pox on all hobbits! Where is the cowardly creature? Show yourself, villain! Where is the ring? He is not here. Where is the ring? The anger passes like a sudden storm. You should return to the camp. Boromir, what have you done? We must divide into pairs and carefully... No, wait! Come back! Frodo! Frodo! Ah, Boromir. Alan, what am I doing? It wasn't me. Yeah, that's a hard instance to play. I mean, drawing sword against... Okay, follow tracks to Dead Orc Glade and experience the Horn of Gondor. No! All right, hold on. Before I do that, I need to get the stable here so that we can... I'm not going to do the shortened account. We're going to do the whole thing. Well
My
met,
name is Rodwin,
River Hobbit.
and I am a champion of
My name is
Gondor
Rodwin.
and an adventurer for hire.
A champion of Gondor and a sword for hire. Here in the tavern, I'm a level 12 warrior, and I would like to accompany you on your next adventure. I need some XP. No, I've come north from Gondor with my friends in search of glory and coin. That feels a little out of place, not necessarily in that sequence. But now we've run into some trouble. We lost Cuilin not long after leaving Caer Andros. He was a minstrel and did not understand the need for silence at a crucial moment. Our guardian, as staunch a dwarf as I've ever known, has been captured by orcs, and Isteron seems to have just wandered off. Ah, that was the name of the guy in the cave. He is a lore master, so I suppose we should have expected it. He gets interested in the strangest of things and tends to follow that interest wherever it leads him, which is usually away. We could use your help if you offer it. Introduce yourself to Hestil over there before she goes even more grey with worry. Speak to me again afterward. I will answer any of your questions.
Yes?
Are you here to help us? It's pretty clear what's coming. I'm going to share my favorite of Alan's Prancing Pony Ponderings. Thank you. Well, we'll see how much help you can be, Hilbern. We ran into trouble not long after we left Karandros, but it's only the start. These lands were supposed to be deserted, but now they're anything but empty. Orcs have poured across the river, and we find further passage north to be much more difficult than we planned. And now our guardian has gotten himself
everyone
captured.
to be ready before we can rescue our captive guardian.
I'm going to accept this wrapper quest, but I'm going to remove it from the quest guide because I have a feeling we're going to move on. And we'll replace Mansig's encampment with this. So we'll come back to pick up all the quests that would be a part of that, which would be all the quests for Kufran, Ramdir, Maidal, and Istaran, who are in various places. Yeah, so we got to go. There's further south, all the way here near Amon Hen. There's one here. There's one by the Dead Orc Glade, and there's one up there. So I'm going to just untrack that. And instead, we're going to go do the instance or the session play. Let's follow the tracks in the dirt. Yep, my brother, my captain, my king. Of course, we could just follow. Hold on, do I have two over there? Oh, one was, yeah. Okay, we're not going to bother with that. All right. So we're just going to follow the tracks to the Orc Glade because I think we all know what's coming. Oh, I didn't realize I'd aggroed him. One of the things I don't like about being a hunter is that sometimes you draw a target and you start to select an action. It takes a little while for the action to actually take place, right? The induction time, I think it's called. So 1.7 seconds. And in that 1.7 seconds, he'll go out of range or out of sight. It's like, oh. This group is also another example of the storytelling thread greatness. Is that talking about the group at the campfire there? I'm not intending to completely ignore it, but I do want to move into Rohan. I really do. Uh-oh. Here's the Dead Orc Glade. A slain Uruk in the southern part of the glade catches your attention. I've not watched any of the I haven't watched any of the Game of Thrones ever, so someday. But I just find his willingness to do really gruesome and gory things for the sake of that to be a little over the top for me. I mean, to each their own. I'm not casting judgment.
Cut a mighty
Not stuff I
swath through
enjoy.
the Uruks in the east wall, but was it enough to save our mutual friends from certain death?
All right, so I'm moving them apart so I know what's where. Okay. The hobbits need your help, Boromir. Thank you, Boromir. He came out of the woods in that direction, Boromir, and it sounds like he was not alone. You're struck by the hobbit's suddenly fierce countenance. They look so much like children, yet you begin to see some of the resolve of which Gandalf spoke. We have to find Boromir. We have to find Frodo, Boromir. If you had some cause in his disappearance, help us now and make it right. This way! We've got to find Frodo. Mary, what's happening? I'm sorry I won't be able to catch much of the chat. Katie, if there's anything important, I will be able to at least see the phone, so let me know. I'll do what I can. In the meantime, this is... sounds like there are a lot of orcs in the woods, Boromir. Boromir, help! Take that! I mean, I know this is an unwinnable battle. Kind of know how this ends. And that's the thing about this. Like, how can LotRO tell a story that we all know how it ends? Boromir, are you hurt? Merry, he does not look well. Stay close to Boromir, Pippin. You need aid. You must blow the horn of Gondor. There are too many. The orcs seem endless. How can we hope to fight them all? We are not as strong as you, Boromir. Merry has shown them a thing or two, but I just cannot do it. I cannot fight anymore. There are just too many of them. Poor Pip. He's such a young guy. Book Pippin, that is. I'm just blowing the horn to be story, you know, like just to... Where is Strider? He must have heard the horn. Man, I need a lot of that area of effect stuff. They are wearing me down, and I've got no heals at all. Merry, I think Boromir tires. What are we going to do? I don't know, Pip. It really adds to the futility of it. It does, doesn't it? You've got a sense here that dying, Uruk. He's not dead yet. You need to alert your allies. Blow the horn of Gondor once more. I don't think anyone's coming, Pip. This fallen Uruk is barely alive, but the mark of the white hand on his armor is unmistakable. Seize the halfling, he moans, his wounds bubbling painfully. These Uruks are here for Frodo. You have to stop them. Oh! Boromir, get up. Oh no. Merry. Come on, we have to go. Boromir. Pippin, I think this is it. Are you ready? I suppose, Merry. It's our turn to protect you now, Boromir. The Shire! For Frodo! a reminder, I've not played through this portion of the epic, so that's the first time I've ever seen that. Man, they do a really good job of adapting the text into something that you play. And it is as hard to watch. It's hard to see. Man. That was hard. So I'm supposed to scour the beach near Parthgallen for clues and experience 2 hobbits. Okay. What's this one? Find a veteran of many battles who can shed light on the bloodstained tree. Well, we'll see about that. I'm supposed to scour the beach. Oh, down near Parthgallen. So I have to go down to the shore and then up to Parthgallen. Okay. And because it's session play, those things were turned off. Oh, shoot. I aggroed the guy. I'm just trying to get to the end of this epic stream. It is fantastic. The epic chain, I should say, the chain of epic quests that will lead us in to the next stage of the story. Oh, well, I can't get there from here unless I swim. Swim, swim, swim. Luckily, we had practice in Lake Everswim, or Evendim, as the case may be. Emotional whiplash up in here. It is something I do, that's for sure. This was rough. I'm still just emotionally drained. I mean, Boromir just I keep thinking about, fighting the temptation of the ring. We all know Frodo fails at the end, right? So even Frodo couldn't succeed against the ring. And I think the only reason that Aragorn and Galadriel and even Gandalf could is that they knew they would face that temptation. They were able to prepare mentally and emotionally for that test. Boromir couldn't. He didn't know. He couldn't know. And I think that plays a role in it. You could say Faramir didn't have a chance to prepare either, but I'm just going to say, and I love Faramir. Faramir's extraordinary in so many ways. And I think his oath is what kept him. He didn't know what the temptation was going to be, but he knew that he was going to, he knew he'd already said, if I found this thing by the side of the road, I would not use it. And he sandy footprints lead down to the water. Oh my goodness, I got to be from Tom Withers to even Evan Quests beyond this of some absolute gut punches that tear your heart asunder. Yep. Hey, what's part of your TRD post, Dan? All right. Everything has gone wrong today. What is a hobbit to do? Oh, Sam. Poor Sam. Yeah, Book Faramir really is the best. That's why I'm a Faramir stan,
Those footprints are hobbit-sized. What became of our mutual friends on that dangerous day?
Why do you look so worried, Sam? You heard what Aragorn said. Frodo's just got to think about what to do for an hour, and then he'll come back and we'll all sit off in whatever direction he's decided. We've got a job to do after all. I'm sure Frodo will come up with something. I say we call Frodo back and have a vote. My vote is for Minas Tirith. We will go wherever Frodo goes, won't we, Sam? That's what we decided even before we knew the far-off lands through which his road would take him. But nothing has changed, has it? That is my vote as well. But if Frodo chooses otherwise, I will go with him. I will follow Frodo no matter his choice. It would be a betrayal to do anything else. It would be if we all deserted him. But I propose something different. I think Frodo should go east with 3 companions, myself and Gimli and Sam. Boromir should return to his own city with Legolas and Meriadoc and Peregrine. What? No, no. I know it isn't easy for your friends to hear, Sam, but I think it is the best course. Frodo has probably come to the same realization that both ways are desperate. He may, in fact, be trying to decide which way is most desperate in order to make his choice more clear. You think Aragorn may not fully understand your master. I'm sorry, now I'm no longer reading his text, I'm reading the narration. You think Aragorn may not fully understand your master, and apologetically tell him that Frodo probably has no intention of going to Minas Tirith at all. He intends to go east to Mordor, but he's afraid for those of the company that go with him. Dan of the Rings, are we, and by we I mean Alan, playing this moment from different perspectives? Yes. We already did it from Frodo's perspective. Then we got Boromir's, and now we get Sam's. I don't know if we get others. This might be it. But wow. You may be right, Sam. The hour is just about up. We should call for them. Boromir, where have you been? Have you seen Frodo? Well, yes and no. I saw him a ways up the hill, and I urged him to come with me to Minas Tirith. I grew angry, and he vanished. I've never seen anything like it. Oh, Elbereth. Oh, no. Why would he do that? Is that all you have to say, Boromir? How long has it been since you saw him? It has been half an hour, perhaps, or maybe an hour. I do not know. I do not know. Aye, he needs our aid. Gimli, let us find Frodo. Boromir, I do not know what part you played in this, but redeem yourself now. Keep those hobbits safe. Sam, stay with me. We must not get separated. Part of the problem is I can't see the quest. There we go. Stay with Aragorn. Hold on a minute, Sam, you say to yourself. This is a time for plain old hobbit sense. Frodo can't fly, and he has no gear, so he needs to get back to the boats. I don't remember where the boats are parked. Was that him? Such a great adaptation. Yep. Frodo has already taken it. He was wearing the ring, and now he has removed it. Sam, what a nuisance you are. Don't you know you can't really swim? What would you have done if I had not grabbed you? He shakes his head in an exasperated way. Sam, I need to go on to Mordor alone. It's the only way. You refuse to be left behind, to Frodo's growing consternation. Do not hinder me, Sam. The others will be back soon, and if they catch us here, they will make us explain and argue, and I will not be able to resist. If we are going, we have to go now. Frodo laughs. Oh, Sam, you have spoilt my plan, but I am glad of it. We were meant to leave together. That much is clear to me now. Let us be off. Wow, this has been tremendous. And this is all new, and I love it. I mean, that's the thing. This is all new to me because I've played the epic right up until the Isengard prisoner thing. And then the only players I'd played the epic with after that, I had Valard to level 120, so I pick it up in the Vales of Anduin at Beorningshus. So, I mean, all that stuff in between, including Rohan and Minas Tirith, I have not experienced. So this will all be new to me. Talk to Corodan in the shadow of the Argonath. I guess first I can find a veteran in mini battles. Oh, okay. He's here in the encampment.
Interesting. Is it possible for the various tribes of Orc and Uruk to work together?
Oh, I guess I'll find that sword after all, because it's up there near where I got to go anyway, right? So now I'm going to talk to Cordodan in the shadow of the Argonath. But before I do, I'm going to go knock this one out. Oh, is there an orc encampment up there? That might be, yeah. I might not really have the bandwidth to tackle that too. All right.
It is a sad
Tale you weave. The burden our mutual friends bear caused some amount of discord among them, and they were splintered. It seems from the signs you read that one or more of them repented of their deeds and sought to repair the divide when the orcs appeared. One halfling stayed clear of the fighting, and it seems another joined him. If they did not cross the river by themselves, I cannot come up with another explanation. The two of them have now left the east wall, heading east. You know the identity of these two, Hilbern. Can it be anyone but the bearer of the great burden and his loyal servant? Only Galadriel can hope to see them now. I am uncertain of the path of the rest of the company, but my own reading of the signs has shown me something that seems fairly clear. 3 of that company have left for Rohan on foot. I believe they pursue the other 2 halflings of the company.
We should go to Mansig's encampment to speak with Ingil.
Horn and Nona went to the camp Framric spoke of, led by a Rohirrim man named Mansig. His encampment is located on the border of the East Wall and the Norcrofts. They were going to speak with a man there named Ingild, who claims to have seen something of interest to us. You should speak with this man now and see what he knows. I will come as well. All right, we're going to just cancel that quest again, because we're not going to go in there. And we are going to bypass that one for now. But let's go talk to Ingild at Mansig's encampment. So yeah, we're back here.
A party of Uruks fled from the east wall with the Norcrofts on foot.
I do not know anything about that Dunlendingar, but Horn is one of my people, and I trust him. I will tell you what I told him. A party of Uruks has fled from the east wall on foot into the Norcrofts. If you go to the ridge west of here, you might be able to look over the plains and see where they went. Travel to the ridge west of the encampment. So I have to leave first to get over there. Oh, that's why they call it the East Wall, huh? Look at that. You stand on the ridge that forms the border with the Norcrofts. We're looking into Rohan from here. You can see some settlements. Oh, hey. You don't belong here. Neither do you. Who's a gross dog? Who's a weird dog? You are. All right. And you? Can I shoot you from here? Yes, I can. I'm going to, because you're getting too close to my friends. All right. Presumably, I need to go down and talk to them. I guess I need to look out first. You peer out over the plains and see a far-off cloud of dust. Cordodan.
The last time I traveled south, orcs were gathering.
A group of Uruks passed this way. The signs are clear about that much at least. They trampled grass underfoot and kicked aside stones with little care for where they placed their booted feet. They were in a hurry, and they held captives 2 halflings whose identities I think we both know, Hilbern. The Uruks are right to worry, for their run took them into Rohan. They are several days ahead of us, and I feel mere hours ahead of their pursuers, for they were pursued by 3 of our mutual friends, I think. But why? Did the Uruks think they had captured something more than captives? We must follow them. If we can lend our aid to the captives or to the pursuers, we must do so. But we will need war steeds if we are to have any hope of catching them on the great plains of Rohan.
It is strange to look out over the plains of my home.
It is strange
No,
to look out over the
I am
beloved
not
fields of
welcome
my
there.
home. And no, I am not welcome there, Hilbern. It is your duty to follow the rumor of your friends and it is my desire to help you do it. So I will follow you if you must pass into Rohan. Coradon tells me that the Uruks are likely pursued by an elf, a dwarf, and a man. And though the tracks are faint and hard to read, I trust his instincts and his tracking skill. They would need to be incomparable hunters themselves to catch the Uruks if they did not depart immediately, and it seems they did not. And we are leaving well after both groups, so heed this warning. We will have no hope of catching up with the Uruks that fled the East Wall without war steeds of our own. We should speak with Mansig about acquiring such steeds.
Horn is an unusual man. I will keep an eye on him for you.
Look at the rolling fields and plains of the Horselords. They were meant for my people, but they were taken from us. Nona scowls, but then her expression softens. Horn and I hunted for signs of your friends while you were at Parthgalan, Hilbern. He's not like the rest of the Horselords. If he wishes to go into Rohan, a land from which he is exiled, I will do so without complaint. See how much he risks for the causes of strangers? He is a most unusual man, Hilbern. I will keep an eye on him for you. I bet you will. I bet you will. All right. What first age or second age session play would everyone like to see? Well, thinking about absolutely hopeless causes, the fall of Gondolin. How about the last stand of Húrin? I mean, can you imagine? 70 times he uttered that cry. Oh, that'd be fantastic. Mansig, you didn't mention anything about horses before when I was here.
You have urgent business
within Rohan? It is not for me to ask questions. Know that my people are suspicious of outsiders, and you travel with not one but two, and are one yourself. All right, so we've got some helms to choose from, not the light armor. So let's take a look at the two medium armors. Agility, Vitality, and Finesse. Agility, Vitality, Crit, and Finesse. It's less armor, but I get 24 more agility and 22 more vitality, but I'd lose on crit rating and physical mastery, so I'm not going to take it. I'll just choose the thing that I can't accidentally put on.
Some of my men are returning to the wall.
Whoa!
You're welcome to go with them.
I had to immediately travel, huh? The four of you will need war steeds if you were to have any hope of making good time on the plains of Rohan. Some of my men are returning to the wold. You are welcome to go with them, if you like. Help my people at Langhold and Harwick, and you can have the war steeds you need. You will automatically travel to Langhold in the Wold when you accept this quest, which is interesting because the Rohan Awaits quest, this quest must be turned in before completing the quests of Langhold. So I just have to remember to turn that in before I complete the quests. All right.
If we are to cross the plains of Rohan with any speed, we will need war steeds of our own.
All right, so before I even turn that in, okay, so that's the Rohan one. So I'm going to go up there real quick and just turn that in.
Will you aid the Horselords?
Rohan, yes, you've come to the northern border of the wold. The town of Langhold is not far if it is hospitality you seek. I'm from there, but I'm on an errand to Stangard now. Just head south along the road. You will not miss Langhold when Uhtred is Thane. We've crossed into Rohan at last. And now I'll port back to that town. Okay, so this is where I came up, was Langhold. So if we look at the map, we were here, remember the Great River? And we went into Parth Celebrant and the Brownlands. Okay, that is all in here because there's the Great River. So we went down here to the East Wall. So we went a lot further south to finish the quest from the Argonath to Parthgalan. But then we jumped back up to the Wold. Okay, so now we're in Langhold, which is the furthest north town in Rohan. We are finally in Rohan, folks. Finally in Rohan. All right, so we're going to talk to Adnoth, but first we're going to turn in Rohan Awaits.
What business have you with the row you're in?
You've come to the gate of Langhold, traveler. State your business. What brings you to our door? Deed bestowed.
The Rohirrim have need of your services.
We've had word from our kindred in the great river of a heroic traveler who passed through Stangard. I can see that you are this same river hobbit of whom such praise was spoken. The Thane of Longhold would receive you in the mead hall without delay. This part of the world welcomes guests with open arms, but enemies of the mark beware. It is my duty to warn you thus. Adnoth.
You have need of war steeds. Perhaps I can help you.
Perhaps I can.
You will need war
We've faced
steeds
difficult
for some of your
times, not
companions.
just in Longhold, but throughout all of the world as well. Theoden King has left those of us in the wold without much support. I do not blame him. Rumor tells of great armies marshalling in the west, and we are spread too thin over the too wide an area. If you desire to travel across the kingdom of Rohan, you will need war steeds for yourself and your companions. There are two things you will need to accomplish in order to obtain the privilege of such steeds. First, help in the support of Longhold. Once the city has been made safe, travel south along the road to Harwick, and you will be instructed in the skills necessary to safely and swiftly ride a war steed. Okay, so first let's receive the formal welcome of the Thane and complete all quests in Longhold. Hello, quests. Looking for quests. Katie says, Horn and Nona as a foil to Caranthir and Haleth. I can see that. My reading for Jordan for the Tolkien Reading Day was Haleth. Ah, the milestone. So we're going to replace Parthgalen. I think we'll replace the Croftlands. Actually, no. Let's replace Stangard because we still might want to go back and do those quests. So I'm trying to see if there's... all the Longhold quests, but I'm only seeing the Mead Hall at this point. Go to the Thane first, sir. Thank you, Katie. Well, it's of course what I would do in real life. Go talk to the Thane. That's what you got to do. Thane Uhtred. Is it Uhtred of Bebbanburg, though? Sorry. Can't help it. I love the Last Kingdom show. So look, it's Timu Theoden and Timu Eowyn. Hello, Timu Eowyn. Hello, Timu Theoden. Hail, friend of the Riddermark. I'm Thane of this keep. What business have you here?
Greetings.
The famous wandering hunter. Your reputation precedes you, Hilbern. I bid you welcome to Longhold. I'm sure you'll find plenty to keep you busy here, but we're often beset by ruffians and wild creatures.
Welcome.
My wife, Killen, has a better temperament for welcoming guests to Longhold than I. I would sooner bid you to go find your own food, but my dear wife upholds the customs of Rohan. She has grace, despite agreeing to tolerate my bad behavior for so many long years. Killen will give you the welcome you deserve as an honored guest in our city.
Our mission is
Ah, the traveler from Stangard. You must be weary from your long road. Do not mind my husband. He is an unceremonious man, but he is a good Thane and still strong. Come, let us drink together and share a meal. This custom is a pledge of honor from us that you will be safe from all harm in Longhold. It is a pledge on your part also. While here, you must respect our ways and cause no harm and stir no trouble. Will you perform this gesture of goodwill? Please accept our hospitality, friend of the Mark. I shall eat some food. You have broken bread at the table of the Thane. Well, that's a lot of mead. It's like a frat bro. Just glug, 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 glug. Bow to Killen to thank her for her hospitality. I bid you welcome, friend of Longhold.
Your aid is welcome.
You have my wife's approval, eh? Do you? Good, good. She is a gentle soul, and she loves the old customs. I suppose there is no harm in them, especially if they make our guests behave themselves while they stay here. Now, you are free to roam about and do as you please. Do not let me keep you. Uhtred bids you to leave and find your own manner of entertainment in town. There looks like there's a quest over here. Higbald. I will not stand for Uhtred and killing rudeness. I apologize, Timu Theta. That's... What the heck is that thing? To kill a dinosaur? I mean... Ah, the traveler from the Western Lands. Welcome. I am a city guardsman, but I am a little busy at the moment. Yes, I see that. Oh, salamander, of course. The salamanders are breeding more and more of late, and their eggs are hatching in greater numbers. More salamanders beget yet more salamanders. If you get a chance, burn their vile nests. But be careful, they guard their eggs viciously. Will you look at this mess? A salamander here right at the gate. These vile serpents grow bolder and bolder of late. Soon they will be crawling into our homes at night and biting us in our sleep. There is a nest not far south of Langhold. I suspect you'll find it teeming with these pests. If you go thin their numbers, there will be a good reward in it for you. You carry quite the reputation of being a skilled warrior, Hilbern. All right, let's see about picking up other quests. There's at least one more here. I just realized I got yelled at. Katie said, "You bite your tongue." Must have been the Timu Theoden comment. Oh, okay. I don't really have one.
2 things must you accomplish to acquire the war steeds you seek.
Okay, so that ring is not really what I need to do. Apparently, I just need to do the Salamanders quest. Oh, and Book 8, Chapter 1, which says complete all quests and learn how to participate at the tourney field in Harwick, which must be that ring. All right. So I've already grabbed the milestone. I think that's going to have to be it for tonight. We got 7:30, so we'll have time to do a little bit of chat. Let me go ahead and put some of these things in shared storage, and then some things in my vault. The vault, I'll put the oakwood logs, the Rittermark scarn, the oak sapwood branches, the high-grade Rittermark scarn. The other things I'll put in the materials. I've got so many red agates, it doesn't matter. Ooh, Rittermark hides. I need those. I don't need the Kalinard hide. I can give that back to my my auction house guy. My scholar will want that. My cook will want the strawberries and the blackberries. My scholar will want the East Eminent wax. I see a shard. I've managed to get a tarnished crest of Rohan. That's nice. Recipes that I'm not going to use. 5 white puddings. I can only have one trail food active at a time, and I much prefer the superior black puddings since they give me an agility bonus. Got some enhancement runes. Ooh, cups of superior second breakfast blend coffee. Cups of superior second breakfast blend coffee. Do I not have bound to account and not bound to accounts? This could be a separate item. All right, I'll put that in my food place for other people to use. Superior apple and cheese pies, which is exactly what I have here. But one's crafted by my crafter and bound to my account. The other is not. So I'm just going to sell those. All right. Between the Chamber of Mazarbul and Frodo's favorite session play. Yeah. This whole 3 quest thing with the Parthgal and breaking the fellowship from 3 of them perspectives. That's my favorite so far. All right, so we're going to sell all those things. And then we're going to open up the runes. And what do we get? A tracery. Swift bow damage. I think that's on this one. Is that a better one than what I already have? Swift bow damage. Enhancement level 125. Yeah, it's the same. So I'll just disenchant that because you can't have 2 of the same traceries anyway. And then I will drop the enhancement rune on my heroic precision to give me some more crit rating. Nice. Okay. Good spot to stop. Not too far from 81, but far enough. All right. All right, let me lose the headphones now. Oh, I didn't mean literally lose the headphones. All right, catching up on chat here. Let me show on stream. Welcome back, chat. Welcome back. All right. Welcome. A laser raptor from Kung Fury. That's awesome. Must resist old branding. The fire salamanders. So now I'm thinking Warhammer 40K. Like, yeah. Is that what you're thinking, Dan? Killed like 30 of them 13 years later. Still know exactly what that beastie is. Does look like the arm's a little big for it to be a T-Rex. You need to have the little teeny tiny hands. The chamber. Chamber's a pretty good one too. That's true. The murmuration. Yes, that's right. The birds as they were going by. The and the beauty of the sky. Katie. What? Danger zone. That was a fun one. I mean, we got to play the Breaking of the Fellowship from two more perspectives after having experienced it with Frodo. I think a week ago, might have been a week and a half ago. That was really, really good. Just fantastic stuff. I'm excited to see now what Rohan is like. We are in Rohan finally. I think maybe this might be a good spot to take a little bit of a break. I'm not sure whether I'll do that break this Saturday or next Tuesday, but I think I might want to start doing some of the Legos, like I've said. I feel like this is a good spot now that we finished the Fellowship stuff and we're now moving into Rohan. But though Katie says she fell in love with LotRO most when she played through Rohan. So maybe I don't. I don't know. We'll see how things go. It is fantastic. Oh, excuse me. That's funny. I have played some in Rohan because I needed to get the crafting materials, right? If I just because I Valard a guy from level 40 to level 120 doesn't suddenly make him able to do all the crafting. So I had to go and get the gear or get the equipment, or I'm sorry, get the raw materials in order to make the equipment for my gear. So I still had to go through there, and that did mean I played some quests, but it was funny because I could tell I was missing out on a lot. So rich and decadent. Okay, so get my war steed first. Okay, I will get my war horse. Katie, the war horse I'll never ride. Maybe the game will actually teach me how to ride it well. I mean, I didn't know that horses could drift, so that was pretty cool. Yeah, looking forward to it. Should be fun. Well, any questions before I wrap up? It's been a heck of a session tonight. I'm really looking forward to getting the war steed, even if I do take a session or two off to build the Lego kit. One or two more epic quests. Yeah, probably. It's going to take me a little bit of time. I mean, I'll take a look at the LotRO wiki and just kind of get an overview of the quest chain and see how long it is to get the war steed. If it's more than one or two sessions, I think I'll maybe put it on the shelf, do a Lego build. And the small Lego build I'm going to start with, the Balrog and Gandalf Book Nook one, shouldn't take more than 2 sessions to build. So that'll be fun. In fact, I'll go get it right now. Just show you the box in case those of you haven't seen it yet. All right. I may have been optimistic when I said I could do this in 2 sessions. I didn't realize it is 1,200 pieces. So I do want to build this, though. I think it'll be a lot of fun to build, especially because I also have the Light My Bricks light kit to actually make it look like that, right? So that actually it's all lit up and looking cool and spooky with the actual lights built with the kit. So that will be perhaps the next thing I do. We'll see about that. Dan, I'm happy to see that you're already going to be out of the boot. It feels pretty quick. When was the break? Because that feels like it was just a couple of weeks ago. The Sauron head. Yeah. That's right. I forgot about the Sauron head. Will it have wings? This one will. I mean, it's not booked because really, here's a picture of the thing. They are sort of wings of shadow. See, they're sort of misty feeling wings. And if I didn't have those, that would look awfully sad. Was it really 7 weeks ago, man? Well, of course you would know. It was your foot. Get a light steed, put points to agility. Yeah. 64 people. Did we get a raid? That's amazing. That is awesome. Thank you, folks. I'm so glad that look at that. I'm actually seeing 77 on my end, but that's combined between the two. Thank you all for joining me tonight. Here we are. We've finished the actual gameplay. We're about ready to wrap. But if you've got questions, this is a great time to put them in chat. You want to ask questions about the breaking of the fellowship, about Boromir, about Frodo and Sam, about any of that stuff. Hassel asks if I'm ready for Drive to Survive, which comes out on Friday with the next season. I am. I have cleared my calendar and I am ready to binge all of it on Friday. Katie, thank you. Yes, please like the stream. That helps us a lot. The Sauron head, I can't believe I haven't gotten that. You're right. I need to get that. I'm so excited for the Minas Tirith set that they're going to put together. That's going to be great. Let's see. 7 weeks. Yep. All right. Well, folks, I'm going to give you all a couple more minutes to throw questions in the chat, and then I'm just going to wrap up and get to next Saturday with the next PPP plays. Whether that'll be building our esteemed Balrog Book Nook, or whether that will be exploring Rohan and getting our War Steed, we'll yet to see. Nate asks, what upcoming events from the books am I most looking forward to experiencing in LotRO? Tell you the one I am absolutely super excited to experience. Because like I said, I've got characters that can now wander around Rohan over-leveled, but you know where I can't go? I can't go into Medjugorje, because you can only go into Medjugorje via the Epic. I am really looking forward to experiencing that, to walking into Medjugorje and seeing the stories on the floor, to seeing the tapestries on the wall, the tapestry of Eorl the Young when he arrives at the Battle of the Field of Celebrant, to seeing the shafts of light coming through the louvers in the ceiling, to seeing the fireplace in the middle with it rising up through the exit up there. I'm looking forward to seeing the dais with Theoden on his throne, Eowyn behind him, and Grima Wormtongue in front. I cannot wait for that moment. What was the next thing? If Boromir had claimed the ring, do you think he would have usurped the stewardship from his father? I honestly don't know if he would have made it that far. The ring would have wanted to use Boromir, but I don't think he was anywhere near prepared for what it would do to him. I think he'd end up taking it back to Sauron, whether he meant to or not. He'd advertise its presence, and Sauron would come and get it. What requires finagling my space and more shelves? Katie, I'm sorry. Let me know that. Joe, is there a deeper meaning to the arrangement of the Hill of Hearing and the Hill of Seeing, and Tolbrandir inaccessible in the middle? I don't know. My first reaction is to say I don't think there's a specific meaning as to why one is on the left and one is on the right. I do think the inaccessibility of the middle one might be symbolic. Oh, the Rivendell set will definitely take up. I'll build that, and then that'll have to go in another room. I think it's too deep to fit on these shelves. These shelves are 12 inches deep, and I think the Rivendell kit is deeper than that. It's a good question, Joe. Really is. Oh, I think he would have tried to challenge Aragorn, and I think he would have won with the power of the ring. But yeah. Nate, not a question. I appreciate how you've helped me elevate my readings of Tolkien's work. Yay! That is one of the things I want to do. I want to help people for the first time get into the text, and I want to take people who've read them, learn how to read them deeper, learn how to discover all those connections. That is great. That is fantastic. What a great that's encouragement. It really is. I love knowing that I have been able to be a help to people. Obviously, Sean as well, and the other co-hosts. That this project that Sean and I started 10 years ago now has helped people get more out of Tolkien and more out of their reading, more out of just out of the Legendarium as a whole. I can't tell you how many people have said, I never bothered reading Unfinished Tales until you guys talked about some of it. I never thought I'd be interested in the history of Middle Earth, but I'm interested in reading parts of the history of Middle Earth. And it all depends on where you are. Like, do you want all of it? Well, sure, you can read all of it. But, if you're into the old First Age poetry and you want to read more about the Lay of Lathian, well, then get, the Book of Lost Tales and get the Lays of Beleriand and all that stuff. If you like the Lord of the Rings, get the middle volumes that composite the history of the Lord of the Rings. But I've had so many people say those kinds of things, and it's really an encouragement. Reading the poetry and songs. Kim, I used to not do that, right? I used to skip the poetry and songs until probably, certainly more than 10 years ago now. But for the first time, I've had to really analyze the poetry and songs. And that's been rich, so rich. You have a video you recorded. Well, you'll have to send that to me, Katie. I'm so glad it's enriched everybody's experience. That means a lot to hear and to know. So 10 years. I know people have said here's to another 10. I can't promise that, but I do think it's safe to say 6 or 7 more years are in the future of the PPP. So I'm going to go ahead and head off. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, folks. I really appreciate it. I love knowing that there are 75 people currently watching the stream. Thank you for coming. I hope that you enjoyed our time finishing up the session play at Parthgallen and moving our way into Rohan. If you're interested, please come back and join me this Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern, or 1 p.m. Pacific. 1 p.m. Pacific. That is always the time I stream on Saturdays. And then the Tuesday streams are always 6 p.m. Pacific. Join me on Saturday. We'll see you then. Thank you so much. Have a good night.